Hi, I'm Mo, and this is the Mountain Budget. Welcome to my channel, and truly I mean that welcome because this is my first ever video. I am so excited. I have been cash stuffing for about a year, and after saving up some money a few months ago, I really allowed myself to upgrade to tools that I felt were just so beautiful, and it made me even more excited to continue the cash stuffing process. Almost all of my products are from the Aesthetic Dollar, so if you were thinking about buying from Emily, maybe this video will be a good showcase for you about all the different products that she has on hand. Well, not all the products, but a good amount. And one of my favorite elements of the cash stuffing journey I've been on has been all the incredible videos that I've watched over the past year. I love so many channels on YouTube who do cash stuffings and cash condensings and budgeting with me's. I love them, and I was getting FOMO, so I decided to make my own channel. And I felt like there was no better video to start with than just a general overview about my overall setup. So that's what I'm going to be going over today. Now, I will say, fair warning, one of my biggest battles in this life is fighting against the tendency to yap and to go on tangents and to just talk for way too long. So I'm going to try and not give in to that urge today. We're going to jump right in. But if there are any things that you would like further explanation on because you felt I didn't cover it enough, let me know in the comments, and I'm more than happy to talk about my system with you. And I'm also more than happy to hear any tips or tricks that you might have of your own. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get into my cash budgeting setup. We're actually going to start with my wallet. This is from the Aesthetic Dollar. It's their, I believe, A7 size. It's a little, well, it's seen better days. I did order this 4 months ago. It has gotten quite scuffed up. I throw it in every single purse I take out with me. The metal kind of covering is peeling off. I think it was just a sticker or something like that to the plastic underneath, or I'm not quite sure what it is. But, and also I lost the little dongle at one point. It kind of faded and ripped off. But it still is totally functional as a wallet, and I'm gonna really run it into the ground before I replace it. Also, if you hear any weird sounds in the background, I have 2 cats and they are being very rambunctious right now, even though they were asleep 5 minutes ago. But now that I've decided to film, they're up for the party. Okay. So I'm gonna flip through all of my envelopes, and I will also go over how much I currently have in every single envelope. So that way we're just starting from scratch, where at least this channel has a good starting point. This is my starting basis at the end of February 2025. Before I budget for March, this is where I am. So my first envelope is groceries. As you can see, it's also gotten a little bit of wear and tear. The typing has faded, but again, this is a daily use sort of wallet. So I feel like that makes sense that it would already be showing this level of wear, but it is pretty pricey. So you might want to keep that in mind if you're gonna purchase one for yourself. Know that after about 4 months of use, this is what it's gonna look like if you abuse it in the way that I do. Currently, we have no money in groceries. That's totally fine. I went grocery shopping yesterday and I spent every last cent. Gas, I actually don't use this envelope for gas, but that is what it is labeled as. I use this envelope as my patronage envelope, and I will go into what that means when we get to one of my other binders. And currently in gas / patronage, we have 20, 40, 5. I just did my first counting. Oh, feels so special. But there we go, $45 in patronage, no money in spending. This envelope is pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of a general unrestricted spending envelope. I have dreams and dreams of letting this grow and grow until I can spend it on something fabulous. And then I spend it every single week. So that's great. We're working on it. Okay, my eating out envelope. I love to support local restaurants in my area. I live in the mountains. That's why it's called the Mountain Budget. And because of that, I do give myself a fairly generous budget every single week to eat out. I give myself enough where I can take myself out for a very decent meal 2 to 3 times a week. And right now we only have $20 left. I'm actually surprised I have anything left given how much I've eaten out this week, actually. Household is a classic category. This is to replace items like toilet paper or paper towels or other cleaning supplies. Basically, household is whenever I need to do a good old Target run. And in household, we have $25. And actually, I think I'm gonna be spending this money soon because I need more Clorox wipes. And finally, miscellaneous. That I use this mainly as a buffer, or I use this envelope mainly as a, okay. Why are you guys being mean to each other? They're hissing at each other. And it always makes me so sad when they do that. Also, I do not know if a skunk sprayed outside or if somebody lit up, but I have my porch door open right now and it is a very unpleasant smell. So I'm gonna light a candle. This is my little Skandinavisk hygge candle and I'm gonna light that so I don't smell whatever I'm smelling right now. Give me 1 second. All right. Also, hopefully that smoke will make whatever else fade a little bit. Okay, I can't remember what I said if I explained miscellaneous, but the idea here is that it's a buffer in case I don't have quite enough at my restaurant or etc. Or if I know I'm going out to spend money, like if I'm going to a beauty store or going to get my hair cut, I'll take money out of my hair folder and put it into the miscellaneous folder just so that way I don't have to carry an entire binder with me. But there you go. That is my little wallet. We're just gonna put her right there. All right, next we're gonna go with the giving binder, and this is another aesthetic dollar. Everything, I will tell you if it's not, but if you're seeing it, it's most likely aesthetic dollar. The only things on screen right now that are not aesthetic dollar, other than my hands, are the Skandinavisk candle, and then this is a very old piggy bank from Henry Bendel. Everything else is aesthetic dollar. But this was her limited edition binder for the holidays. I believe it was called Ginger Spice. I love it. It is such a gorgeous color in person. I'm hoping it comes across in camera as well. And this is my giving binder. So what does that mean? All of the gifts that I plan on giving this year are in here. My Christmas budget is in here, but also I have philanthropy and patronage. So philanthropy is the first envelope in here, and the idea I had when setting up this binder of all my giving is that, well, and this is a personal rule I've had for myself for a very long time, any income that comes my way, I treat 10% of it as if it's not mine. And that 10% though can't just go to family and friends for Christmas or for their birthdays or something like that. It has to go to causes that I want to support. So I have broken that up down further into 2 categories, and then of course those categories into even further categories, as is the whole point of cash stuffing, is to just further categorize things and delight in how many categories you can have. But an overarching part of the category is philanthropy. So right now, 5% of any income I get goes to philanthropy, and that is the idea of giving directly to charitable causes. So nonprofit organizations, 501c3s, cancer research, food banks, anything like that. 5% of my income at least has to go to that. And right now it has $2,500, $600, and $700. I have these little category cash spending trackers that I just got from the Aesthetic Dollar. Like I said, I'm obsessed. I'm the sort of girl who, when I find a brand I like, I remain extremely loyal until something goes very, very wrong. So I'm not going to really change things up on this channel, and I hope that's okay. But right now it has $2,700 in philanthropy. And again, that is specifically to nonprofit organizations. The other 5% goes to what I like to call patronage. But I'm going to get into that later because I forgot about the Project for Awesome envelope. Basically, the Project for Awesome is an online charity event run by Hank Green and John Green from the Vlogbrothers YouTube channel. They've been doing this for a very long time, ever since I was in high school. And basically, it's one weekend out of every year that they get a lot of YouTube creators together to support causes that are important to them. And it was just a couple of weeks ago. I had such a good time attending all the live streams, and I decided that I wanted to create an envelope for it and save up over the course of the entire year, so that way next year I can give a little more intentionally and have a better idea of how much I want to be giving. And yes, but anyway, I purchased these. I was trying to say that I purchased these spending trackers from the Aesthetic Dollar a couple of weeks ago, but if I haven't stuffed these categories since, they're unlabeled. Because I bought like 60 of them because I have so many envelopes, I've just been labeling them upon the first time that I actually stuff the envelope itself. So the Project for Awesome has not gotten any stuffing yet because this year, 2025's Project for Awesome was just a couple weeks ago. And so I will start stuffing this in March. Next is kindness. And the idea here is I do allow myself, I do have folders for just general gift giving, but this one I wanted to be a little bit more specific about almost sympathy gift giving or gifts to make someone feel better, or just like I love you gifts. So I couldn't use this money on birthday presents, but an example of what I could use it on was a couple of weeks ago I had a friend whose mom really hurt her back and was kind of holed up in bed for a couple of days. So I sent her some flowers from this envelope just as a way to brighten her day while she wasn't feeling well. And right now kindness has $70 in it. All right, we've arrived at coffee, which means we have arrived at my patronage section. And basically I made the decision when I started budgeting. One of the first things that I started slashing from my budget was all of my support of local businesses. And that actually made me feel really bad. And so as a way to encourage myself to continue supporting those local businesses, I moved a part of my budget around so that way that 10% that I considered of like, this money doesn't belong to me, I give away this 10%. Any money I come in, every dollar that comes in, 10 cents goes out to the local community or to charity. So this patronage is basically anything that supports my local community. So this coffee folder cannot be spent at Starbucks. Let's be so clear about that. This coffee folder is specifically, or envelope, I should stop calling it folder. This envelope is specifically to support 2 to 3 very independent local coffee shops that are very close to me that I love, and I don't want them to lose my business because I don't want them to go out of business. I want them to stay around for a very long time because they are such a wonderful place in my community. I want to show them my full support, and even though I am trying to budget and spend my money a little more intentionally, I didn't want them to be punished for that. So that's where that other 5% of my 10% goes, is to supporting my local community in this way. And not just a coffee, you'll see I have some other sections as well. But right now, local coffee has I can't count and I can't talk. Local coffee has 2 for $65 in it. That's actually quite a bit, which is good. Means that I can go out and really enjoy myself. I also love to spend a lot of time at coffee. Oh, bless you. That was one of my kitty cats. Just had a little bit of a sneeze. I love to spend a long time at coffee shops, and I'm a full believer that if you're going to hunker down at a coffee shop, it is best practice to spend at least, to buy at least 1 drink an hour to kind of rent your table a little bit. So that is coffee. Books, again, this is part of patronage. I want to support authors. I want to support local bookstores. I cannot spend this money at Barnes & Noble or on Amazon or Audible or anything like that, but I can go to local bookstores, or if I'm on a vacation and there's an independent bookstore, I can support them. I can also, I will say, I can spend this on Amazon if I'm purchasing an indie author's book. So an author whose book might not otherwise be available in a local bookstore, if it's the only place that I can get it, if it means I can support the independent author, someone who's indie publishing, I mean, rather than traditional publishing through a major publisher, then I will allow myself to spend on Amazon, but I try to avoid doing that. And right now, book patronage has 110 and 15, 115 in it. Let me know if this whole like philanthropy patronage thing does not make sense. Again, I am really trying to avoid yapping, but I already know I've over yapped. I apologize for the level of yap that is occurring right now. All right, here we go. Patronage for art. I also really want to support local artists, and I am excited at the idea of getting art for my apartment. And instead of just going out to, you know, Home Goods or World Market or something like that and getting this mass-produced art, I liked the idea of saving up quite a bit and really supporting somebody local. So I suspect that I won't be pulling from this envelope for quite some time, and right now it has 110, 15, 115, the same as books. And again, that is just that philosophy of, I was trying to cut my budget, but I also didn't want to cut my support of people who are artists, because I think that the work they do has so much value and I want to support them. So that's how I justify it within my budget. And tips is also part of patronage. I love to give a tip. I consider being a good tipper a whole part of my personality. This folder is currently empty because I've depleted myself of tip money. And I'm definitely one of those people who is very, very taking advantage of the iPad situation. And so now that I do cash stuffing, that actually makes things better. But for the most part, I never refuse to tip, even in situations when most people wouldn't. Because again, I don't, once money goes into any of these folders, envelopes, say the right word, these are envelopes. Anytime money goes in here, I no longer consider this my money, and that makes it way easier to be generous when tipping and to kind of tip even when many people might say the person behind the counter hasn't earned a tip, which whatever. It's just easy because I'm like, oh, that's not my money. This money belongs to my community and I can distribute it as I wish to. So there we go. All right, this is my mom folder. How do I even explain this envelope? Okay, so this envelope is fully funded for the year. All the funds that I plan on spending on my mother, fully funded for the year, which, as you can see, I wrote down that it's $4,000. That includes her birthday gift, her Mother's Day gift, her Christmas gifts. Her birthday gifts this year are a bit extravagant because this is a big birthday year for her. So I've decided to send her a birthday present every single month on the day that aligns with her birth date. So for example, this is not factual, but if she was born on November 10th, then on the 10th of every single month, I have been sending her a gift. That's what I'm talking about. And I do not plan on spending all $4,000 on my mother this year. I plan on spending just a small portion of that. But I want to start saving up because both of my parents are getting older and I want to start treating my mom to kind of bigger experiences because she's been so generous with me her entire life. And anytime she travels, she takes me with her. She barely ever lets me pay for a meal when I'm visiting. And I am just kind of preparing for the day when the tables get to turn and I finally get to take care of my parents. And so this is the folder, the envelope. Oh my gosh, I'm ridiculous. This is the envelope that is representing all of those funds. And right now the majority of them are in a stock account because I do intend to let those funds grow just because I am really, really funding it. And the hope is to fund it about $4,000 every single year and let it grow and grow and grow. All right. I am saving individually for Father's Day and for my father's birthday though. So right now, Father's Day has $20 in it. Again, this savings challenge, surprise, surprise, is from the Aesthetic Dollar. I have each of these little circles counting as $2 and I'm saving up a total of $108, which actually isn't that much given how generous my dad is with me, exactly the same way as my mom. My parents are so incredibly generous with me. But my dad is also one of those people who it's kind of impossible to buy for. He really has everything he could ever want. And so I'm basically saving up to take him out for a dad-daughter lunch or dinner or something like that. Because at this point in time, I feel like he really gets more out of generally like spending time with his loved ones rather than receiving presents. So that's why it may look like I like my mom more than I am my dad, but that's not true. I promise it's not true. All right, Christmas is fully funded for the year. I was really stressed out at the end of 2024. I really did not save up enough for Christmas. And so at the start of 2025, I said, well, I'm not letting that happen again. So again, in January, I did a lot of front loading with a bonus check that I received. And I just went ahead and fully funded a lot. Like I fully funded my mother's account and I am fully funded Christmas. So it currently has $2,000 in it. And I might pad it a little bit more depending on how the year goes, but I really think that should be enough. I just do have a lot of people that I buy presents for because I have a huge family and I'm gaining a niece this year. So we have a whole extra person to spoil. So we're going to see how this serves me. I did not spend this much on last Christmas. And so I'm hoping that this will be more than enough, but we shall see. All right, this is just labeled as gifts, but this is specifically for my father's birthday, which is later in the year, and it currently has $130 for my father's birthday, which is kind of awesome, actually. I didn't think I was saving up that quickly for it, but looks like I have, so that rocks. And then this is a secondary gifts situation, and this is for my siblings, any in-laws that I have, and any of their children. And right now it also has 130, and of course it's out of order, so we're gonna fix that. 120, 30. And like I said, I have a little niece arriving and we have a baby shower on the horizon and stuff. So I have this temporary envelope right now just to save up for said celebrations and baby arrivals. And Cora is the baby's name. That's not a secret. Everybody knows at this point. So I figure it's okay if I mention it in a YouTube video. And it currently has $50, but it had more. And then I placed a deposit for the place where we are hosting the baby shower, so it's been a bit depleted, but right now it currently has $50. And then miscellaneous is for miscellaneous gift giving. That's if I meet someone, I have a new friend and their birthday is coming up and I want to grab them a bottle of wine or something, or a nice thing of olive oil, or if I get invited to a wedding. And it's currently got Zippo in it, which is not good, but we're gonna really hammer that down in March. So that one's getting a generous amount in my next cash stuffing. All right, that is my giving binder. I can already tell the amount I'm talking is absolutely ridiculous. I apologize, but you know what? Maybe it's your vibe. If this has been your vibe, subscribe and hit the like button. And also, if you have your own channel where you do this, let me know what it is so I can subscribe to you too, because I've made a brand new channel for this, and so I need to kind of rediscover all my faves. All right, this next binder, again, Aesthetic Dollar, is my home binder. I'm really using this actually as a way of just doing a long-term sinking fund, just to have a ton of extra money that I'm not spending, because I currently live in a studio apartment, but I am planning within the year to move into a 2-bedroom apartment, which is quite an upgrade and also quite an added expense to my rent. And because I don't want to have to crunch down my lifestyle after I move into this larger apartment, what I have done is I'm pretending right now that my rent is the price it would be if I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and any money in that amount that I'm not actually spending on rent, I put into this binder. And it's basically just a way for me to save for that new apartment and also feel comfortable moving into it, and not like I'm gonna have to start making a ton of sacrifices with all of my other funds in order to make room in my budget for the rent. I basically have already made that room in my budget, and hopefully whenever an apartment comes available and I get to move, I will have saved up a nice little initial fund to get myself some nice furniture. So the categories that I have in here are cleaning. Basically, I can handle cleaning my studio, but once I move into a 2-bedroom, I think it would be nice maybe once a season to hire a housekeeper and have them come in and help me do some deep cleaning. But this currently I don't think has anything in it. Laundry currently has $100 in it, and I don't really think I'm gonna put much more in it. This is just so that way when I move into a new apartment, I can get one of those over door alpha kind of systems from the Container Store to organize all my laundry items, or maybe potentially buy an iron and become an official adult and start ironing my clothes, because I don't know, I just feel like it's something I need to start doing. My age is getting really serious, and the fact that I am someone the age that I am who does not iron, I don't know, I'm not sure it's acceptable. All right, lawn care currently has, I believe, $1 to $300 in the bank. These are placeholders from the Aesthetic Dollar. And I had it as lawn care because I currently have a porch in which I have a lot of plants, but when I move into a new apartment, I'm gonna just have a small balcony. So I'm probably gonna have to get rid of all my pots and my plants and not have a garden anymore in the summer, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. And so I'm saving up money instead to buy some nice outdoor furniture, so I can maybe put a hammock out on my porch, which, oh my gosh, that'd be so beautiful. Just something that's gonna allow me to go outside and stare at the mountains and, you know, soak up that vitamin D. Bedroom is a category that I will be saving up for. Currently has nothing in it because I'm front loading a specific category right now. Bathroom, it's the same situation. when I'm in my new apartment, I'm planning on going ham with decorating because I'm committing to living there anywhere from 5 to 7 years, basically until I have children that are old enough to walk. And I currently don't have kids right now, so let's just be clear about that, other than the 2 brats that are my cats. Anyway, so I plan on wallpapering and painting if my lease allows and all that jazz, you know, changing the, what's it called? The hardware and the wall sockets, everything, really customizing, making it my own to the level that I can as a renter. And so that's why I have it partitioned into all of these sections. And also because this was the savings challenge that the Aesthetic Dollar had on her website. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Living room, I am going to get a new couch because the cats that I currently have, well, here's the truth. They are not my cats. I am cat sitting for a year because I have a family member who moved to Paris and could not bring her cats with her. So once I get rid of the cats, I'm getting a new couch because they have destroyed my couch, which is fine. They're cute enough to be worth it. Furniture. Okay, furniture is the envelope that I have been funding the most heavily since I decided I wanted to move, because actually a couple of months ago, this binder, all of these envelopes had savings within them. And then at a certain point I said, you know what? I don't know if when I move, I want to only have, you know, $100 for the bathroom and $200 for my bedroom. I just decided to pool everything into one fund, a furniture fund. And it currently has $1,000 in it. And that way, when I move into the new place, because I will be bringing a studio apartment's worth of furniture into a 2-bedroom apartment, this will help me get any sort of necessary immediate items that I might need, like a dining room table. That will be a big one. Okay, this is labeled as renovations, but I'm using it to hold the moving expenses savings challenge, and it is currently fully funded at $1,000. I do plan on hiring movers to help me move because the days of paying friends with pizza and smiles is over. I am not going to ask any of my friends to help me move, and I also don't want to hurt myself again the way that I hurt my rotator cuff the last time I moved. So we're gonna pay people to do it. This next folder is for the security deposit. This is also fully funded at $3,000. It's actually probably way over padded, but I just wanted to overestimate just so that way when the time came, when my dream apartment becomes available, because that's really all I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a 2-bedroom with a gorgeous mountain view, and I'm kind of on that timeline. Whenever it becomes available, that's when I'm moving. And I wanted to have moving expenses and security deposit fully funded, so that way when it became available, there was no friction to jumping and going for it. If I didn't have those funded, it'd be like, oh, should I do it now? Should I not? And so now I don't have to deal with any of that waffling. I can just do it. Home decor, self-explanatory, not focusing too heavily on this envelope, almost said folder again right now, but I had these super crispy 5s and I didn't want to return them to the bank, so I'm holding on to them in home decor. So technically home decor has 15, but I really am not planning on purchasing any new pieces for my apartment right now since I know I'm moving. It just feels kind of silly to buy a new throw blanket when I could be putting that money towards new furniture. All right, organizing. I don't know if this has anything in it. It does not. This is going to be spent almost exclusively at the Container Store, I'm certain. Although I heard that they were going out of business. So, or at least they filed for bankruptcy. I don't know. That will be devastating to me. And then utilities, well, it's listed as utilities. I'm using it for miscellaneous fees. You know, if there's a fee to changing my internet or my energy bill, I don't know what's going to happen. Just, you know, when you're undertaking a big project, random crap comes up. And so I want to start saving in there. And I do believe I'm currently planning in March to fully fund that envelope, but we shall see. I don't know how this looks if I have them right there. I don't even know if I've been on camera this whole time. Wouldn't that be scary? Anyway, let's go into this binder, which I recently set up and have forgotten what it is. I think this is my long-term seeking fund. It is. All right. Long-term seeking fund, and I believe overflow. This is a new binder, so it's still a little not, it doesn't have a ton of give to it, but oh, it smells good. Yeah. Also Aesthetic Dollar. All right, vehicle maintenance. This is to pay for any car washes, or like I just got my vehicle registered in the state, which I should have done a very long time ago, but whatever, we don't need to talk about it. I had to pay those fees from this envelope. And also though, I count this as a long-term sinking fund because I'm also using this to eventually save up for another car. And that's years down the line because I am so lucky and I was just able to get myself a new car. Well, not new, I bought it used, but I got a car in 2023 and she is my little mountain carriage. I love her so much, but I also know that cars don't last forever. I am planning on driving her into the ground for, 10 to 15 years, but I would love to save up every month, put a little bit away so that way 10 to 15 years from now, when my blueberry, that's what I call her, my little blueberry, if you watch Psych, you'll know what I'm talking about. When she passes away, very sadly, I will be able to just go to another dealership and buy another used car with cash. And that way I don't have to deal with having a car payment or going into that level of debt with interest, etc. So this is a very long-term sinking fund, in fact, and every so often when this amount gets to a certain amount, around $1,000, I take 90% of it out and I put it into an investment account because that's the idea, is that I really should be investing that money so that way it can grow even further and then grow to a car purchasable amount more quickly. And it currently has $200 in it. I really hope you guys are enjoying this extremely detailed look into my life. I hope that's cool. Okay, Happy Place. So this is another investment account, and this is really truly just my general stock account. Every week I put money in here, and then every quarter I go ahead and invest. And I just have a lot of emotions around investing money. That's what we're gonna say for now. And the nice thing, so a couple of months ago, I kind of had this revelation where I shouldn't just treat it as like, okay, I'm putting this money in here for a 60-year-old Mo to, live off of once it comes to fruition. I have redesigned this in the same way that I know I'm trying to save up in 10 to 15 years for a new car. I've decided, okay, this is for when I'm 65 and I decide to retire and truly buy myself a mountain house. That's probably not what's going to happen. This is probably just going to be an investment account. But in order to trick myself into investing, I have to say that it's going to this dream mountain house, which I call my happy place, which is why it's labeled Happy Place. Oh, in case you were curious, which I don't know if you are at all, but not all of the aesthetic dollar things are labeled. And well, now it's disappeared. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So I have this little slate gray pad of Post-it notes that I got from the website Ink and Volt a while ago. I love it. It's just so much less jarring than normal Post-it notes, although you can see the cats got into this little holder at one point. But I just rip off the sticky part and I write down the label and it works for me. I mean, is it a little rustic? Yes, but I think the color is not too garish and it gets the job done. So anyway, long story short, Happy Place is really just a code word for a dream that I have about being a hermit in the mountains, truly, when I'm an old lady, like an old witch vibes. And really this is just an investment account. It's just putting money into the S&P 500. Okay. And it currently has $1,100 at $200. It actually has a bit more than that because this is the money that is not currently invested. I don't think about the money that is invested just because the stock market goes up and down and wild swings, and that can really lead to a lot of emotionality if I really think of that money as my money. And so as soon as I invest, I'm sort of like, okay, that's not my problem anymore. So I only count the money that isn't invested. And that way, I'm playing the long game. I'm waiting decades. And when you're waiting decades, it's okay if the stock market swings from day to day because you're playing the decades game. And those little swings might feel like big swings day to day, but in the grand scheme of things are not critical. At least that's what I try and tell myself. Anyway, emergency fund, I have fully funded at $5,000. I achieved that last year, which is so exciting because it opened up quite a bit in my monthly budget for a little more focus on some other investing goals and savings goals. So I have a fully funded $5,000 emergency fund, but I still have the little envelope for it because it's a nice reminder that that's something I accomplished. 1 month ahead is currently fully funded, but I am still working on it. It's currently fully funded for a certain amount. I'm not going to say how much it is, but I am it will not be fully funded if I do move, right? Because my rent is going to go up. So I'm going to start cash stuffing this again in addition to the fully funded amount that I currently have in a savings bank account, because I want to build up to a fully funded under the impression that I am in the new apartment. So we're going to start working on her again. Debt, I owed some money to one of my sisters for a vacation that we took, and she paid for me at the time because it was kind of an unexpected vacation for when it was a bachelorette party and it was unexpected. And my sister was very kind and paid for me to go because it was just, I didn't have the savings for it because all my other savings were for other things, and it was before my emergency fund was fully funded, etc., etc. So anyway, she said I never needed to pay her back. I'm going to pay her back, and I actually just fully funded this account 2 weeks ago, and I haven't seen my sister yet, and she doesn't do Zelle or anything like that, so I do have to pay her in cash. So I'm just waiting until I see her, and then I can pay her and then get rid of this, because I'm not a credit card person. I know I would abuse them, so I don't have any credit card debt, thankfully, because I don't have a credit card. All right, shopping. What? Oh, right. Okay, this is why I count this folder as long-term sinking funds and also as overflow. So basically, I'm not comfortable with the idea of carrying hundreds of dollars around in my wallet. So anytime any of these is over $200, I leave about $50 in the wallet itself, and then I take all this overflow and I put it in here. That's in theory, at least, obviously, because as you can see, none of these have anything. I have it for my spending money, for my groceries, and for miscellaneous, which will really be for eating out, for household. Not that I ever see household gaining that much money, because I buy household supplies every single month and I need to. So anyway, that is my long-term sinking fund binder. If you're still here, leave me a little emoji. Is there a piggy bank emoji, or maybe like leave me a pig or a coin emoji to let me know that you're still here, and talk about one of your more unique envelopes that you have. Like, I felt like I spent 10 hours explaining the difference between patronage and philanthropy when I probably didn't need to, because those are very common words in the English language and everybody probably immediately knew what I was trying to say, and yet I over-explained it, as I always tend to do. All right, this is my short-term sinking fund binder. We have clothing. I am currently saving up for a summer wardrobe. There are some summer clothes that I do have, but for the most part, the idea here is that I'm going to save up about $1,000, okay, and buy myself a few nice pieces that I see myself wearing for a decade plus. So that's the concept here, and it currently has $210. Weirdly, this says it has $290. That's very odd. I don't know why. Oh, I wonder if I put this 10 in here to bring it up to 300 at some point, and then I lost the other placeholder. Interesting. Well, I will have to reconcile that at some point. Very nice. Okay, hair and nails has nothing in it. Beauty also doesn't have anything in it currently. Real talk. I used to be addicted to shopping, and specifically I used to have a shopping addiction for makeup right before the pandemic and kind of through the pandemic, and cash stuffing has been such a saving grace because it's sort of taken that like obsessive energy that I used to have for obtaining makeup and turned it towards an obsession of organizing and saving money, which thank you for a healthy outlet for our odd tendencies. So I'm trying to not give myself too much of a beauty budget because I have so many beauty supplies that are still not expired that I could be using, and I really don't need to acquire anything right now. And also in general, I just don't want to encourage myself to spend money at a Sephora or Ulta or anything like that because of my history and knowing that I could easily fall into that, what's it called when you're like hurting yourself? Destructive behavior again. Self-care. This is to cover both my cost for my personal trainer and for a massage. I love a massage. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. And especially now that I am working with a personal trainer and I struggle with a foam roller, you're really loves a massage because the massage therapist will work it all out. In fact, I just had my massage last week, and so I am down. I had quite a bit of money in here, and then I paid for my personal trainer and I paid for my massage. So I only have $10 currently in self-care, but that one gets funded pretty generously every single month. So that should build it back up fairly quickly. This is for if I have a date and I'm going on a date night. That's pretty self-explanatory. It has no money in it, and I don't see myself going on dates for the foreseeable future. So should I just take that one out? I'm gonna take that out. Not really. All right, treat yourself is my little savings for my birthday. I'm turning 31 this year, very excitingly. I have loved being 30. The day I left my 20s was one of the happiest days in 10 years for me. Honestly, seriously, my 20s were rough. And I have a little, English, we love to speak in coherent sentences. I have a budget for $300 for my 31st birthday present to myself. And right now I have saved $100. There we go. It's as simple as that, Mo. It's as simple as that. Entertainment. What is this for? Oh yeah, this is, instead of entertainment, I count this as recreation. So if someone is coming to town in a concert, if there is an author visiting and their tickets to their book talk, if I want to go to the planetarium and pay to see the stars on a digital screen, it's all recreation. Specifically if I'm going to go to the Ren Fair, that's definitely something I'm saving up for this summer. And if I'm going to go to national parks, I would pay for my park pass through this binder. And this envelope, it currently has $200. So ridiculous. I do though have a whole separate folder envelope for winter recreation, just because I do live in a mountainous area and I do ski. So ski passes are extremely pricey. It's over $1,000 depending on when you buy it. I'm gonna try and buy it earlier this year, so that way I'm paying only about $800, but I am saving up as if I'm gonna be paying over $1,000. And I also, right now my full budget for the year is over $2,000, because you go skiing, but you don't just go skiing. There's also après ski, there's paying for parking, there's replacing equipment, tuning up your equipment. It is such a pricey hobby, but gosh darn, do I just love being on the mountain. It is so freeing and lovely. So I just make place in my budget for it. I make room. And it currently has 100, 200, 300, 310, 315, $315 in winter recreation. All right, this is my coup de coeur, my French moment, my coup de coeur envelope. I was in Paris once and I saw something in a department store, and the sales lady, a very great sales lady, was like, "You must buy this. You have the coup de coeur." And I was like, "What is that?" She's like, "It means your heart has been struck by lightning. You have fallen in love. You have a crush on this thing." So this is my envelope for saving up for kind of an unexpected purchase, something I see and I just think, oh, I have to have that. But also I'm very bad, as we have seen, with letting my spending money accumulate. And so this is basically me forcing myself to let my spending money accumulate. The idea here is not that I spend this money on a whole bunch of random stuff. It's that I spend it on 1 to 3 very intentional, very, very special heirloom level items. And I have not spent any of this money yet. I'm hoping to actually really build it up for most of the year, and then, really kind of allow myself to be more flexible in spending it in 2026. But so honestly, maybe I should have put this in my long-term sinking fund. I don't know. But anyway, currently it has 100, 200, 300. The thing that inspired me to set this up was this winter, I was in a store and saw the most beautiful winter cape, like the nerd that I am. And I wanted it so bad, but it was painful because I was like, I haven't budgeted for something like this. And so that's why I have this envelope now, is so that I'm budgeting for something like that, something unexpected and delightful. Holidays does not count towards Christmas. It doesn't count towards giving presents or anything. This is for holiday decor, or like, let's say it's 4th of July and I want to buy hot dogs. I don't know. This is so ridiculous. It's fully funded in the sense that it currently has $100 in it, which means I'm not going to keep stuffing it because I don't see myself spending more than $100 on any one holiday. In fact, that would be way too much on any one holiday. I didn't even spend any money on Valentine's Day, which RIP me, but it's fine. But like if I want to go out on St. Patrick's, or like I said, if it's 4th of July or Halloween or something like that, I just have a little extra spending money just in case I don't have spending money. And the idea is that if I, spend $20 at 4th of July, then the next month I would just restuff it back. So it would be back at 100, and then it's fully funded and I don't need to stuff it anymore. New Year's Eve, though, is a very specific holiday that I'm saving for because outside of Halloween, New Year's Eve is my favorite holiday. It's my second favorite holiday because Halloween is my favorite. And I love last year, I started a new tradition for myself where I booked a hotel room, and I spent the whole day in my hotel room, sitting by a cozy fireplace, looking out at mountains, planning for the new year. And it was honestly my favorite New Year's Eve I've had in a very long time. And I was like, I'm doing this again and again and again. So I'm currently saving up for next year's hotel stay extravaganza. And we currently have 150, 65, wait, yeah, I knew those were sticky. Sorry. I'm gonna get used to this. This feels so official that I'm like doing my little countings. Okay. 150, 65, 75, and 80. I have $180 currently in New Year's Eve. And that is my short-term sinking binder. And we're really very close to the end. We have a couple more binders left, but we don't really need to go into them very much. This is my business binder. In the same way that I want to support other creatives, I myself am in a creative field. And so I have to kind of be on top of my own expenses for it. I keep my expense card, the thing I spend most of my money, like make my purchases on, in this folder, binder. Oh, yeah. I also have a debit card spending tracker in here from the Aesthetic Dollar. So that way when I use this card, I can write it down here and then take it out of the necessary envelopes. I just set this binder up last week, so it is almost Zippo stuffed. So we have... But I will just go over the categories so you know what's in here. This is the Aesthetic Dollar's, one of her newest envelope offerings, and it is like small business. So office supplies, taxes owed, which I currently have $1,000 placeholder in here, advertising costs, subscription costs, website, business equipment. I would use this probably to save up for like a new computer or anything that I use to help me in my artistic craft. Vendors, I don't even know if I need this envelope, but we're leaving it in here for now. Actually, I do, because I do sometimes commission artists and stuff to help me with my work. So I'm a writer. I feel like I should just make that clear. And sometimes I commission character art and stuff like that. So I can do this for vendors. Tax prep for me to pay my accountant. Postage for when I send people goodies, if they've ordered my book or if they've written to me, I can write back. Fees, I don't know what I'm gonna put in there. And then miscellaneous. So that one, oh, guys, that was like a world record on one of these binder flip throughs. And then finally, this is my well, not finally, I've got one more, but I've got two more. It's fine. It's gonna be so quick, you guys. Don't worry. Is anybody still here? I love it. It's like, welcome to my channel, and now I'm gonna force you to sit through a 6-hour-long video. This is my vacation folder. I love to travel, and I am trying to really prioritize it within my budget. But sort of similar to the apartment, the home binder, where I was really just forward stuffing the furniture. I'm really just right now forward stuffing. I don't know if I love that term, forward stuffing. Anyway, just the blanket idea of vacation. And right now I have $2,000 saved for the ephemeral, unexplained, unknown vacation that I might take this year. And once I start getting closer to an idea of what I want to do, then I will pull out the other, let me grab them really quickly. Like, yeah, here we go. This was a whole set from the Aesthetic Dollar. Sorry, that was cat hair. And it has pets that are airport snacks. Well, kitchen, no. Wait, hold on. Well, it had a lot of other things in it. Like, oh wait, maybe I put them back in here actually. hold on, we've got luggage and packing, which I am saving up for some new luggage because I've had my current luggage for almost, I think, 15 years, which is actually crazy. And I'm so proud of myself, but it is really falling apart at this point. Okay, yeah. So once I'm clear about what I'm going to do, then I will break up this $2,000 and partition it into these actual categories, such as plane tickets, the lodging, the food and drinks, activities, souvenirs, and local transport. But for right now, just for the sake and ease of budgeting, because I don't know exactly what vacation I want to go on, I'm just putting money towards a general vacation fund. All right, those are all of my like specific envelopes. I do also have, I just got this from the Aesthetic Dollar, and this is her denomination savings challenge, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, and $100. I love the idea of spending several years filling this up because I'm thinking about making this my Star Notes thing. I see a lot of people, a lot of cash stuffers do Star Notes savings, and I love that idea. I don't know if I've ever seen a Star Note or registered that I've seen a Star Note in my life though, so it could take me a very long time to fill this up. And then finally, our final exhibit today, you guys, is one of the very first things I ever allowed myself to spend money on, which is this 100 envelope savings challenge. I have never successfully done this because at a certain point I had quite a bit in it last year, and then I realized if I took all of it out, I could fully fund my emergency fund. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that. So I think at the most I've had $2,000 in here. I do have a goal of trying to complete it this year though. So the idea is that anytime I don't spend all my groceries in the week, like if I have enough overflow, then I start taking any change that I have and putting it in this binder. And I've only just started doing this, restarted this challenge, so I really don't have that many. I think it's really just those few. Yeah, none of these are filled up right now. So that's it. I have a 100 envelope savings challenge, and I believe that's meant to get you up to $5,050. So I really, really want the satisfaction of fully filling this up, but I'm still very proud of myself for filling it up as much as I did last year and then fully funding my emergency fund. I was very proud of that. So, oh my gosh, we've done it. Hold on, I'm gonna check to see how long this was. Oh my God, 56 minutes, and there will be some editing. So I can't believe it. This is gonna be under an hour. It's still gonna be extraordinarily long. I hope it has been somewhat entertaining, or if you're like me, you've been using this video as a way to slowly fall asleep, because gosh, if that's not what I do most nights, is I turn on the Fancy Dollar or the XO Budget or something along those lines and slowly fall asleep to their beautiful, beautiful voices and the sounds of cash like chafing over other bills. Anyway, thank you again if you made it all this way. Thank you. Let me know that you made it all this way. I know I've done like 10 calls to action in this video. I deeply apologize. Let me know what sort of videos you would like to see in the future. Please feel free to subscribe. And again, let me know if you have your own channel. I am trying to build my community here. Thank you so, so much for watching. I'm hoping my next video will be up very soon. It's going to be a cash stuffing for March. And until then, I have no idea what my outro is going to be. I don't know. Stay tuned for that, because not everything can be perfect on the first go. Anyway, I'm Mo. This has been The Mountain Budget. See you later. Bye.